Right, so here's the guest cabin, and got to start getting this all tidied up, and the head. Get this all ready for my friends who are arriving a week tomorrow. So, first job to do, make the bed, then I can do the dusting, clean the head, and we'll be all done. Unfortunately, we do not have an iron on board, but that's life. That's life. Right, Tuesday the 20th, just leaving from the midstream pontoon off back down to St Justin Roseland Bay. Neville's got it as 99% down there tonight, so it's pretty magic. Not going to go everything. Engines are started. I'll just put the camera on to come off the pier. Other than that, we're out of here. What a gorgeous, gorgeous day. Ready to eat, I suspect. Well, this is very exciting. Got a treat for you this morning. Look at that. Big cruise boat coming in. They're bringing it in. It's going in front ways at the moment. The tug is attached to the back. They're going to spin it around and they're going to drop anchor and then back up to the mooring buoy, so we can get pretty close to it, not too close, and we're going to video it, and I might try and get a little bit of drone footage up as well. Should be pretty cool. So the ship's called the Ada, A-I-D-A, German boat, and from here it heads off to La Coruña in Spain. So basically what happens is they bring the ship in, and you can see that smaller boat there just this side of it by the mooring buoy, and they're going to drop 2 anchors out to the front, back up, taking tension on the anchors, and they back up to the small boat there, the harbour master boat, and then the guys get up onto that buoy and they accept the line from the stern of the Ada, and then effectively that secures it, and then they take 2, or I think it actually might be 4 lines off the stern of the boat down to that mooring ball.
Yes please, yes please. Yeah, okay, all copy.
Okay, so you heard that. They're just talking about the shackles that they're going to use, and there's the boat just spinning around now. It's got pods. It's got pods underneath as well. So they've got 2 bow thrusters, 2 stern thrusters, and pods underneath. So they're pretty manoeuvrable. So there you go, just starting to spin around. And then once they've done that, they'll drop the anchor. Of course, they've got the pilot on board the boat. He knows this area superbly well, and he'll just be saying where they need to go and what they need to do. And then the captain of the ship obviously still gives the commands and has overall responsibility for the ship. Not the nicest of days here in Falmouth for people coming to visit, but it's a shame, and they'll all have to go in on those boats that are the life rafts, or what would be life rafts, but I think they get obviously used a ton more for taking people ashore. But alright, so just coming astern there, getting themselves nicely in position so they're the right distance. Okay, they're just dropping an anchor now. I can hear it, you may not be able to hear. They're just dropping the anchor on the starboard side. They've got a reasonable amount of windage, and there's a good 10 knots blowing out here, so maybe a tinsy bit more. 3 people on the back of that harbour master boat.
Yeah, distance between us and you now, are you happy for that distance?
Yeah, you might still be a bit too far away there, you may come a bit closer.
Yep, understood.
There you go, so just asking if they felt they were close enough, but they're saying they've got to come a bit closer to get those lines down.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, we just bring the stern a bit closer to the buoy, then we'll settle down. And then, if you could, then when you're happy, come in and collect our messenger, please.
Okay, so the messenger, I'm assuming, is the light line that they take across, and then once they take that across, they've got to fit the shackle, the big line, rope, and
Seahorse, mooring deck, either soul. Either soul, Seahorse. Yeah, just to let you know, it's going to be the starboard centre line first. Starboard centre line. Yeah, okay, it's all copied. Starboard centre line first.
Alright, things starting to happen on the little harbour boat there now. Pretty precarious job that, you know, you got a boat alongside, a big ship beside it, stern thruster going, and a guy standing on the top of the buoy and feeding the line through. No tension's been taken up yet. I guess the thing is that when it does, things get pretty precarious on that buoy because it'll try and rotate it a bit. You know, the shackle's up there, yeah, so there's no way they'll be taking any tension up until those guys have finished fixing all the lines and they can get off the buoy. Well, after this, I'm a bit cool now. I'm going to shoot over to Falmouth downtown, and I'm going to get myself a coffee, and I want to get some really good, I want to get some cleaning product for bath towels and that. I've just noticed there's the odd little stain on them that just doesn't come out in the wash, so I'm going to get some product for that. And I'm out of bread, which is no good. I have lunch every day. I have a beautiful farmhouse sandwich, which I will show you one day because I think they're beautiful. I've perfected them, I think. Look what I found, people, the kelp canteen. So this is on the harbour shore at Falmouth Seafood Shack. These guys are just great. Tiny wee space in there, 2 metres by 3 metres. 2 of them, but up to 4 at times. Oh my goodness. They're open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And just goes manic in the summer. But scallops, cockles, crab and all fresh. You know why? Because they don't have room to store. So it just comes in every day. And this little boat down here, they told me, that guy there is the lobster fisherman, and he brings them lobster each day. That is just so neat. Don't you just love it? Wow. What are those oysters there?
They're the native oysters that we get from here locally, from the farm.
How cool is that? All right. See you a week on Wednesday, eh?
Cheers.
A week today, we'll be
Take
here.
care.
Magic. Glamorous. Beautiful fishing boat. These off for a day's fishing. Anyway, I'm going to take you and show you some absolutely beautiful houses. And then I've got a wee treat for you. Oh, look at that yawl. What a beautiful yawl. Beautiful houses along this shoreline. I've been over here at night a number of times and never lights on. The curtains are all closed during the day. It's a shore sign. But that's their holiday home. What the heck is where they live normally like? Manicured gardens, this one here. This is kind of the pick of the bunch. 15 chimneys. Boathouse. Wonder what's in there, eh? Right. Okay, off for your treat now. Well, there are some beautiful explorer boats. And then there are beautiful explorer boats, and I think this is the nicest one that I've seen. Just came in today. I'm going to find out everything I can about it. Looks to be about 120 feet long, but she's beautiful. Look how friendly they're going to be when I turn up, eh? She's shining. Quite a crew, I think, and she's tied off to that buoy at the back. Same principle as the cruise liner. I get it, they want their privacy. It's 58 metres. I'll give you an idea, the tender has a flare on it, which is forward looking infrared. I mean, that's pretty amazing, isn't it? On the tender. Oh, sorry, I apologise, on one of the tenders. What a cool boat. I am going to see, I'm going to do a deep dive on this one, because they're being secretive. I asked them where it's based, and they said, oh, worldwide really, we just keep moving. Lovely clean boat, just sparkling. There would be tons to do. Well, that's the third tender that I've seen on the boat. You can't really call the one that's on the top a tender, to be honest. It's more like a, I don't know what you call it. It ain't a tender. Anyway, back to my little Awanui NZ, and what the heck is that? Boys and their toys. Some reason they're just parking themselves on the boat so they got covers, who would know. Anyway, into my law marina again, because George has sent me another present that I have to go and pick up from the chandlery. Wonder what it is this time, eh? Here we go. Well, maybe it's me. Anyway, here's my present, look. It's a lid for my fry pan. So they sent a lid, fantastic, and it's a roasting dish, look. A roasting dish! Ha! Lucky me. Anyway, guess what I saw right beside the chandlery? Garmin shop. Ha ha! That was too much to resist. You know what? I went in there, tried to describe my problem, and they're basically just not bloody interested. You could just see the look on their face. It was like, oh, really? You know, somebody complaining about their autopilot, get over yourself. I don't know what it is. I'm not even going to go there. Come on, let's go back to the boat. Not going to go there. That was fun. You can almost ride each crossing wave that comes along. So you go along the face of it, and then just flick over onto the tail of it and pick up the next face, and you get a pretty smooth ride even though you're planing. Back home. Alright, careful down here folks, just watch the glare a little bit, eh? This lily white engine room. Going to put a couple of sachets in here because I've got quite a bit of washing to do. So let's go round to 1 hour we're going to do. It's going to be a good wash today because I've got jeans and everything in there. So 4 kilos. I can start that. It's going to take an hour. What are we going to do today? That's what we're going to do. On the starboard engine, we are going to pull the impeller and try and put it back in place. If that doesn't work, then I'm going to take the whole seawater pump off, take the old impeller out, put the new impeller in, and then refit the seawater pump. But first of all, I'm just going to see, can I do it in place? Might be a bit of a challenge, and we're going to film this debacle for you, because something tells me it's going to be harder done than said. Anyway, big challenge. I want to keep this engine room spotless while I do it. So we're going to have a look at that first. Okay, so first thing I want to do is obviously turn off the seawater cock. So just to be really careful there, we go up, we put the jacket over the throttles and the helm, and then I know that I can safely do that without Mark doing something really dumb and silly and starting the engine with the sea cock off. So lift up the lovely clean panel number 1 and we'll put the sea cock off. Alright, so first thing is towel down the back there, and then that should collect up any water that comes out of the sea pump. Oh, next thing is jersey off, because it's going to get warm down here. Alright, let's go and get the correct spanner or the correct socket for taking off. There we go. There's the right one for the sea cock cover. So this is where it gets a little bit tricky in there, because this has got to go on in a particular way. So I've got to make sure that when I take this off, I understand how it goes back on. Otherwise that's going to get complicated. Right, it's going to be fun. I want to get it onto... Okay, so that's too long, even that extension, that's alright. This is just going to be a slow and careful process. Okay, well so far, relatively easy. Right, just got to take each bolt out very carefully. Let's just put this down. There's not going to be any rushing this, folks. Right, there's that. No mess yet. Right, here comes the water look. Let's just let that drain out. At least it's lovely fresh seawater, so that will just dry. Right. Not that much there, because obviously we're above the majority of pipe work. Nice and slow, Mark. Nice and slow. Right. Second bolt. Now this is the tricky one. So what we've got to do here is we've got to hold this on. Right, here we go. So when this comes off, I'm going to hold that on under pressure, the plate, and I'm going to take it out sideways, and that way I'll know how it's got to go back on. Fitting this on could be fiddly without being able to get two hands over it, but we'll see. So I'm doing this basically from feel. I can't see a thing. I have got a mirror, but I'm not going to be able to get at the right angle to actually see what's happening. Right, here we go. There's that nut. Okay. So that goes like that. So I'm going to take that, put that nut down, and now I need to take this out and be very careful about how I place it somewhere so I know how it goes back on. Alright, so it's the inlet cam is on the starboard side at the top. Alright, so the next bit, I'm coming over the top here, just like I do when I'm trying to change the oil. I've got side cutters in case I need to snip electrical ties holding on wiring. The first thing I've got to do is get this into somehow. This is not going to be easy, people, but I can get over here just. Right, I need to be able to get that through here. Alright. Oh, I can see some dirt I missed. Not very impressed with that, Marky. Right, here we go. There we are, screwing in the locking nut for the impeller. And then we put the bolt in. And what that's going to do when I screw that in is seat against the pin that's in there. Right, there it is, held tight. That's tight. Now I need to get a crescent on the end there. That ain't going to be easy. There's that up the top, that's fine, that's all out of the way. Right. Here Marky comes again. Oh. So, the moment of truth. A moment of truth for I need the extension. Guess what, people? I ain't going to be doing this at 82 like the last bloke that does everything on his boat. He's amazing. Right, here it is. There you go. That is pulling the impeller. Now what I do want to see is which way the impeller vanes are sitting. Okay, they're curved in a clockwise direction. Is that right? Yep, definitely clockwise. That is pulling it beautifully. Whoa! Thank you, Kevin in Guernsey. Look at this. Such a simple bit of kit recommended to me by a viewer and put in place by a very kind Kevin in Guernsey, who said it's a gift from Guernsey. Here she comes. You know what? When this impeller comes out, I reckon it's going to be bloody near perfect. But if there's one thing you want to change every year, it's your impellers. Because if you don't, and one shreds itself, you're in big trouble. I'm going to keep the old ones just in case I need them. Right. Oh man. Oh, this is not easy. Hang on, I can move back a little bit, get a bit more support instead of having that thing cutting into my chest. Is this fun, people, or what? Is this fun? Oh man, that is hard work. Bear with me, people, bear with me. What I'd like to do is see where the thread is when I take it out. That would be good. And then I saw a video on putting zip ties on these to make it easier, and Vaseline. So I'll go and watch that again, have some lunch, and then once we've got this out, we'll do it again once I'm back. You can probably see more than I can actually. Yeah, it's still not coming out. Wow. It's pulling, but we'll get to a point where more's out than is in, and then I suspect it'll come out reasonably easy. I hope someone's been counting how many turns there are on this. Oh god, don't tell me. I'm almost out of bolt. You imagine what if I get the bolt tight and it still doesn't come out? It's got to. It has to once it's tight. The full thread of the bolt will be in, and he made it as long as the impeller will come out. Still tight though, people. Far out. Oh yeah, I've still got what, half an inch to go. Little bit of wiggle. Keep going, buddy, keep going. I don't want it to drop. I want to know where the slot is when it comes out. I want to be able to tell, so I want to hold it to the bitter end. Don't want it to fall out. Oh, I don't think we're far off. Yep, we're almost tight. So we'll just be able to go until it's tight. That's all we can get, and then we have to get it out manually. But it's going to come, I think. I'm feeling confident. Kevin got me just the right length, I reckon. Can't be far off being tight now. Here we go. I can feel it tightening up. There we go, people. Check that out. So, right, so the slot is at the 9 o'clock position. Alright, okay, let's go. I'll turn you off and then we are going to go and inspect the impeller. Okay, so you got that? See that? There's a nut coming through, so when you turn it, if my finger was the spline that goes through the impeller, it's pushing against it and that pulls the impeller back. So that's worked really well. So we can take that out. I think we can call that a success, don't you? Now, this is 1,200 hours or a year of operating. And when you look at it, to me, it looks like the day it's gone in. I mean, there's not a crack anywhere. There's no damage whatsoever. No muck in there. You know what? That is like new. But it says to replace it, so I'm going to replace it. Anyway, I'm going to check out on YouTube the process for getting this back in, because basically it's to put a zip tie around here and a zip tie around there, and you get it feeding in, and then you snip the zip tie off and take it out, go in a bit more, snip it, take it out. But the big thing is getting that key there. There's the key there, look. Getting the key in, and then getting these going in the right direction, which is clockwise. And once you got that, with a bit of Vaseline and that, we should be okay. Okay, so far, I think we can call that a success, but the test is to come. I have no two ways, no doubts about that whatsoever. Time for lunch. Well, look at my new gift from George. Isn't that cool? It is a roasting pan for the oven. Now that is perfect, because for 1 or 2 people, that would be the perfect size. And you just take it out, put it down, and it's all done. This handle can take the heat, made of aluminium, the pan, and you just put it in. I think it's fantastic. Look at that. The Boaties baking pan from www.boatiesfrypan.com. boatiesfrypan.com, and there is the lid for my frying pan that I got the other day. Aren't I lucky? Feels like Christmas. Thank you, George. Thanks for calling by. It's people from that Victoria Quay that we looked at in the tender yesterday. Remember, we had a look at it, and they had the pontoon out the front. That's where they live, and they saw me on marine traffic, so they decided to come down and say hello, and they're going to come and grab me, and we'll go and have a meal together. Be great. Ha! Amazing. Just amazing. Alright, so back into it. So I've given the plate just a wee bit of a clean off with 500 grit wet and dry, just a very light rub across. Remembering that cam goes up the top here, so that's the way it's going to go on. Okay, so the shaft is going to go on that way. So what we're going to do is we are going to put work out how to put it. I reckon we go that way. Let's go that way. Now, there's a big argument out there as to whether it matters or not that you have them going the direction that they were folded in before you put it back, or the other way. The argument is it doesn't matter, but you know, it's not going to do any harm, is it, to do it the way that they were going would seem logical to me, that it doesn't have to flip them over again, because obviously the minute the engine starts, it's going to flip them over. So we've got that zip tie on there, pull it over, and as you put that around, there they are, going in a clockwise direction. Flick them all over. That's actually popped out a bit there, so not a bad idea to have 2, maybe even 3 of these on. Don't want small ones, because if you do small ones, they can cut into the rubber. So put it round there, turn it round like that, see how it's got them going in the right direction. Right, now the thing is that when we put that in, so we're going to have to put a third one on here, as we feed it in, we have to take those off. So that is going to be maybe a little bit of a challenge, and I'm going to have to be very careful that when I snip them, I don't do any damage to the rubber. Cut these off. Okay, let's see how we go, eh? The moment of truth. Vaseline here. Let's take it round here. Tricky thing with glasses is to actually see what's going on. Come on, baby. Okay. Okay. So we've got the one end in, and I've got to cut that zip tie here. I'm going to make sure I don't damage the rubber. Okay, get that under there, Mark. Right, let's get that there. Take that there. Right, we've got one off. Right. You know what? That is going in. It slid in a lot. It's just a matter of getting the leverage to push it that last little bit. It's not far now. I have to think just really carefully about this, just not rush it. We are so close yet so far. Man, it's got about 8 mil to go. Somehow we've just got to push that in. I'll have to have a bit of a think about this. Maybe something from over there that I can push in at that angle if I can get my head in there. Alright, let's have a look. Oh, I'll turn you off for a minute. I'm trying to bloody film it and I'm trying to get it done. So, here we go, people. What I've got is the broom handle is against the end of the impeller, and I just want to be able to put a bit of leverage against it. Oh, now the bloody torch is flashing. Oh, for Pete's sake. Now, here we go. Let's see if we can get enough just force on the end there to... Now, for some reason, that's still not going in quite. Alright. Okay. Bloody hell. That is not easy, man. I'll have a look over there in a minute. Hang on. Oh dear, oh dear. Okay. Pump is going to have to come off. This has turned what was going to be a 2-hour job into a 4-hour job. So I'll just show you what we're going to do now. We've got to get these 2 bolts out, that one and that one down there. And then we take these two off on the other side and take that hose off, and then we take the top hose off, so then that entire unit can come out. All right, so I just started to undo all the clamps, and then I had to go and put the washing out so it didn't go all wet and manky in the washing machine. And then I see I'd missed a call from Vince. So I chatted to Vince about what I was doing, and I mean, very rare that it happens, but he actually had a good suggestion. So what he suggested I do is to get the plate back on and very evenly tighten the bolts in, and that should actually quietly push in the impeller. It's literally got 5 mil to go, and I just can't, I can't get the leverage on it to do it. So that's Vince's idea. We'll see whether it's a good idea or a bad idea, I guess, but I think it's a good idea. I was quite shocked, frankly. Bloody hell. You don't know how much this pisses me off. Vince was right. Let's push the impeller right in. Oh, that annoys me. I hate it when he's right. Alright, now I'll undo it and we'll get the O-ring on and try and tighten it up again. Bloody hell. Right, that was not easy, but it worked. So, I'm just going to kick the starboard engine in the guts and make sure we don't have any leaks. Right, all pressure's up. Just quickly check we've got seawater coming out, because if we have, then obviously the pump's working. Yep. Okay, now we'll go down below. Oh, let's hope we got no leaks, eh? That will be so good if we don't have leaks. She's good. I'm just going to make a note for myself up here to absolutely check when I head out on the boat next. I'm going to put that there to remind me that I need to keep a very, very close eye on the temperatures, just to be 100% sure. That's all. I'm happy with that. That's great. Well done, Mark. Well done, Vince. Okay, so that's the pre-wheel. Quite a ship. There is a crane on the back of that. Go around and have a look. Starboard side. Aiding's still over there. She was out sailing the other day. Boy, she got some sails. Friesman, Mona Lisa, Napoli. Alright. Details to come, people. Details to come. Right, off to the train station, and I just go up to Penryn. Once in Penryn, I can go to B&Q and screw and fix, I can get a 65 or 63 millimeter wrench to take the element out of the hot water tank, which then means I can change the anode. I've got a funny feeling the anode might be gone. Anyway, yeah, we'll try and get that. Got to get a couple of hose fittings. Just had a nice coffee at 45 in town. Had a great coffee. And yeah, be back to the boat. Try and do that change, there'll be another day done, I guess. Anyway, nice to know where the train station is, because this is where I'm going to pick Andrew and Nari up next Wednesday. Very exciting. Let summer begin. Let summer begin. Now you might notice I'm walking back down the track. Reason for that is, back down the walkway, is the ticket machine's not at the railway station, it's at the car park. So here it is over here. Right, here we go. Penryn day return, £3.80. Recognise that? That was the Penryn River I came up last week, where I got as far as I could go, and still too far from B&Q. Anyway, train was pretty close, about 1.5 k's. Nice little walk for me. Oh, what a complete waste of time that was. No simple hose fittings without buying a pack that includes an irrigation system and all the racks were empty, so maybe everybody's just come out and grabbed that stuff for the summer now, but no, they ain't got those. And Screw and Fix didn't have the 55mm element wrench, nor does B&Q, so I'm walking away empty-handed, other than the fact I have a person up here who can do the stickers for me that I need made to go on the boat. Other than that, complete waste of time. Never mind, it's an outing. Love it! That is one cute little yacht. Now that's a yacht. Oh, and I woke up this morning, Friday the 23rd of May, and boy did I have bruises from fitting that impeller.